What up, gang? Season 3 of Vanguard is here, and Raven has dropped another major meta shift, boosting many of the Vanguard weapons. So while the ground loot may have been barely changed from last season, the base guns have, and that has definitely caused some shifting from last season's tier list. If you enjoy the content, please like and consider subscribing. We are almost at 800 subs. I'll be honest, I thought about taking this season off completely. I didn't play much towards the second half of last season, but I said to myself I couldn't leave my subs hanging without their ground loot attachments. The response has been encouraging, and I'm back and I'm ready to go this season. So let's get ranking. As always, big thanks to True Game Data and SimGG. I used both, kind of compare the weapons, as well as WZranked, and they're a big help, so shout out to them. All right, so let's start with the 3-line rifle. As probably many of you know, many of the sniper rifles are no longer one-hit headshots. 3-line still is, and it's the only ground loot sniper that does that. So for that reason alone, I know it's not the best sniper. I know some people feel like it's like slightly off the crosshair, but I think just having that ability is still big to get off the ground. So I got it S tier. Automaton definitely had some challenge with ranking this because I do feel the gun is pretty hard to control. The recoil pattern is kind of like a C. I think maybe for people with aim assist it's easier, but I think I saw tweets by JGod, even he felt it was inconsistent. It does have really good TTK, so I couldn't really knock it down into B, and it's still got SMG movement and speed, so it's not the best of the SMGs, and this build is not the best Automaton build. I think maybe the meta Automaton builds are really good and controllable, but this barrel, not great. So that's why it's not S tier or even really high. A tier. AS44, they said that they kind of reduced the initial recoil. I tried it. It didn't feel that much better. It's still pretty wobbly at range, so it's still stuck in the mid-range. Since a lot of the Vanguard weapons got boosted, AS44 didn't really get boosted in terms of TTK. Its advantage in the past was that the TTK was super fast. That advantage is now smaller towards like the Automaton and the STG and the Cooper Carbine. So it's dropped. It's now A tier for me, as it's just not as dominant in the TTK area that it needs to be, given how inaccurate it is. But it's still a good gun, just not, it's losing its advantages. The uncommon I got in B, a solid green gun. All right, the Automaton, very good, still ranking high in WZranked, and so I've got it up here. Got the rare top of A. The bar is definitely more competitive now. See, this is the Automaton Cooper STG bar AS44. See, the AS44 is still fastest, but the difference, it used to be like down here. Maybe that's the 300 hit point change, maybe whatever reason, it's the advantage in that. The bar is right in the kind of the middle of this group. The only downside for the ground loot version is that it is not silenced, so that's why I've got it high A and not S. If it was silenced, it'd probably be S. The Bren, oh man, the Bren has hit hard times. It is very inaccurate. It's B, and it's like middle of B. It's a sad thing to see, but I guess no king can rule forever. Top break in line with the 1911. Cool thing was sim.gg has TTKs for shotguns and pistols now. It has for a while, but I don't think I really checked it out last season, but it does. And so 1911 top break, pretty in line with each other. I think it's about like 800 milliseconds. Combat shotgun also in that range as well. So kind of your choice of shotgun or pistol, what you prefer. The Cooper Carbine, really good. Kind of surprised that the WZranked numbers haven't caught up, but you can see on SimGG, Cooper Carbine 726 in this first kind of damage range. That's almost as fast as the AS44. It is slower, it's in line with the Automaton, but the STG is much faster. So I'm a little surprised it's still down here. I don't know if that's because so many it's the high usage rate, and so maybe a lot of not so great players using, but you could see STG has high, but it has a really high KD. So for that, I've kind of put it behind. I'm behind the Automaton for now. Could it rise above? Yeah, we'll see how the numbers shape out later on. But that's where I got the rare. I got tie A. Clouser is really slow killing. I think it's like 1,000 milliseconds. So definitely down there. Double barrel, so bad. The worst ground loot weapon. DP27, I've got top of B. TTK is competitive. It's actually quite good. It's like mid 700s up close. It's as good as the other beamers. Problem is just you're slow as an LMG, slow reload. So I feel like I can't put it in A. I think you can down 1, 2, but then you're gonna need backup because you're gonna need to reload for 6, 8, 10 seconds. It's a solid ground loot. Definitely can get the job done. That's where I got the DP27s. This one doesn't have a scope and it's slow, so I've got it kind of below that. I have the Bren above the AS44 actually. That's debatable, but that's where I've got for now. Einhorn, I hope it's correct on it, SimGG, but it has a really fast TTK up close. I mean, you have to be really up close, 3 to 5 meters up close. But if you are like barrel stuffing with this, it's like 450, which is like insane TTK. So definitely don't sleep on that fact. If you right at the get-go in a building and all you have like Einhorn as a choice, you might want to stick with it just to get out of that area. Kar 98 doesn't have the one-shot headshot capability. In a squad and everyone's shooting at a person, you could help get the down with it. You are silenced, you are at a distance. So I kind of view it in line with like the SVTs, the M1s that use sniper rifle as well. It's just a longer distance version of those things. So it's C. This is not silenced, so I do kind of try to stray from using a non-silenced gun that can only really hit at distance. KGM40 is not fast killing at all, but it is highly accurate and has the good scope. It has the SVT. So I've got it here. I put it up with the AS44 because it is silenced, highly accurate, and has this good scope. You might want the AS44 if you want it more like a sniper rifle support. This is more like a main gun. This version has tight grip, so it's very accurate, but just like only 35 bullets. I'd rather have 60 bullets, 67 bullets, however many bullets it has, over just 35 bullets. And then this one's there. Clouser, yes, terrible. M916, terrible. This build, putting the ZP custom, I don't know if it's like they did it on purpose to kind of like make it feel super crappy, and then all of a sudden they're gonna like raise it from the dead type deal. But the ZP custom, which is the barrel, like makes it like 1500 millisecond TTK. It's kind of crazy how bad it is. So avoid at all costs, unless that's wrong on the data sites. Bazooka, always a down 1, low NB. M1 Garand, again, kind of, it's like a worse ranged car, right? It's like mid-range only, and it uses sniper rifle ammo as well. They are all silenced, so that's good, but I would only use it, the one-use gun. Machine pistol, pretty slow TTK after I checked it out on SimGG. I had thought it would actually be faster TTK in actual use. It is not. So it is in 1911 or below. MG42, same thing. It's I think I have it over the DP27, but again, just mobility wise, you are not mobile and takes too long to reload to really be a viable loadout gun. It's good in the beginning, but with loadouts coming in so fast, you need to be ready to move on from your ground quickly, unless you get an S tier. This MP40, I think the MP40 is kind of living on name. It's not very good anymore. It is fine up close within 8 meters. Once you get out to 10 or 20 meters, and it's sometimes hard to figure that out, that you're that far away, you are going to get crushed. And so that's why I feel it's a little dangerous. That's why I think I'm just going to avoid, because you can't really 8 to 15 meters, like it's hard to know when you're where. Yes, you have SMG speed, mobility, so that's why I kept it in A, low A, because I still kind of debating it now, Kind of feeling like it should be below, because these guns, like, especially at the beginning, they're good. Like, you can squad wipe with these guys. Yeah, I think I'm dropping it to B. I think that range drop off is just that bad. I think they gotta be below these heavy scoped beamers. Like, these guys can do the job well. I may not feel aggressive with them, but they can get it done. I'm just a little dicey with the MP40, and then the Bren's just not accurate. To be honest, AS44, I might put. I think the Bren you can get the job done in the 40s, and then it's AS44, MP40. That's a tough one. I kind of feel like AS44 is better. Hot takes. Yeah, I think I'm doing that. Okay, Nikita's got kind of a weird S curve recoil pattern, very competitive TTK. It is an AR, and it's not really kitted for range. So it's got to compete against the SMGs, especially the mid-range SMGs. And it can't really, but it's still pretty solid, 50 rounds. So I've got it low A for the silenced versions. The non-scoped, non-silenced versions, they're a bit lower. Would I take an MP4? I think I would take, I'm just a little worried. I'm just really spooked by the MP40. Like, this is bad. 12 meters, you're already at 900. I don't know if it was always like that. I don't think it was always that bad, but it's bad now. And I think I'm taking a Nikita with good kind of mid-range over it. It's got me spooked, guys. I don't know why I have this other Nikita so low. I don't think it should be that low. I think it should be, I would put it below the DP. I do kind of like 60 more, but it's not that much different. This is more accurate. Okay, I would want that. Maybe I want the DP over the Nikita. That, and then this here. Okay, I think that makes more sense. I like 60 rounds. Owen, obviously top tier, top. It's neck and neck with the well gun. This version's not the fastest killing TTK version. It's more like a sniper support version. It's still really good up close. I mean, still, look, 672. It's still not. I mean, the Owen gun's just a beast. It's a beast gun. It is. I just don't like how it's slow firing it is. I think that affects, if you miss any shots up close, it's definitely an aim assist gun. You need to have, it's not really good for mouse players unless you have amazing aim. So I would not use it unless, I mean, of course, if compared to other things, I would use it, but it's not my loadout gun. But I will respect the fact that for many of you controller players, it is. It's a monster. It's pretty OP right now. These guys are here. PPSH, just very hard to control, but if we're talking barrel stuffing range, it is fine. It's got 71 rounds. It's controllable than the Armaguerra, so that's where I would have it. And it's silent, so that's nice. That's a nice bonus. The Rat is solid. It's actually, I think it's like a 700 millisecond TTK. So it's definitely better than the 1911. I've got it below, but I would take an Einhorn above it. And I would take a car, even though it's not silenced above it. The Sten is like the fastest killing SMG. Its only problem is it's got 36 bullets, which is basically just one person. So I would prefer the PPSH, because it's got 71 rounds, but it's more controllable than the Armaguerra. STG, rising fast. It's pretty darn good. I think I will probably try it out over the Automaton and give it a shot to see if it's better than the Automaton, because right now it's got a better distance. It's like, I'll show you guys in a second. At distance, it is 800 milliseconds with the Vital. Now, you can say that, are you going to hit that many chest shots with Vital at that distance? You might not at 50 meters, but I think everything helps. So I think it's neck and neck between Automaton and STG. I don't know why the Cooper's not risen up. It has better close TTK, but we'll see how that shapes out. Now, the legendaries do have lengthened versus the epics, so I'm kind of wondering if I should shift all the lengthened ones. I'll do that for these two. I think the Cooper needs to prove that it's worthy of that. But like you said, I still put an S, so I'm still pretty high on the Cooper. I just need the proof. This STG is a pretty solid. Now I had the Nikita. The Nikita's faster killing up close, so that's why I put it above the STG. Now it does have 60 bullets. Kind of thinking about putting it over the Nikita. I think consistency. I think it has better control as well. It's quite good. It's gonna be really consistent for an uncommon gun. That's sometimes all you can ask for. I wonder if I should drop the Armaguerra back. It's just so close already to this one. So no, I'm not going to do that. But this STG is really good and really accurate, so I'm gonna put it there. This STG only has 30 rounds, so it is kind of makes it fade to the back, because the KGM4 is quite accurate as well and has 35 rounds. 5 rounds is gonna make a difference, and not really. And I think you move faster with the STG. Okay, so that's where I'm gonna put the STG. SVT, again, it is slightly faster killing than the M1 Garand. These are all silenced. So is the rare version. These are one use. Discard. That's the word I'm looking for. Discard after use. Now, if you don't use a sniper rifle ammo, then fine, you can keep it. But for me, I'm discarding after one use. This SVT is iron sighted, and I'm not having that in this game. Top break, same area here. Type 100. Type 100 is very slow killing. This version, it's a Mercury Shirashi 374 millimeters. So is it accurate? Yes, but it's too slow killing. But it's in line with like the Volk and the STG up close. So I would put it over above those. I think I put it above the Bren, but not above these ones. Although I do like being silenced. Okay, I'll put it above these guys. And then the Type 11. Type 11 also pretty slow killing, but it is silenced, so I am putting it above the non-silenced ones. These are pretty fast killing. So I want more ammo, fast killing versus slower killing, less ammo but silenced. I'll take the silenced. And this is here. And Type 99. You know, again, like, it's just another. I would take the faster firing rate of these guns over this one up there. And then this is non-silenced, so this is really at the back end of it. This is here. The Volk. Do I have the Volk on any of these? I don't, cause it's like 800 millisecond up close. It's like 780 or something like that. Yes, it has AR range, but it's kind of stuck in the middle. Nikita's better in terms of TTK. Volk might be a little more controllable. I've got it. I would put it behind the Nikita. I would put it behind the Nikita. Ahead of the MP40. MP40 we got real close, but then it gets dicey quick. I'll put the it's so dicey now, the MP40. I think I'm taking a Volk over the MP40. I just can't fathom the drop off that it has now. 900 millisecond at 15 meters. That's super slow. I'd almost want the consistency of the STG over the MP40. We're getting quite slow. So I'd probably take mobility, but the MP40 is in bad shape, guys and girls. Well gun. Finally, tops for me. It's already trending up to the top right here. Just super good at everything. Good up close, good at the mid-range, very controllable. Maybe not the best at any one thing, but it's just good at a lot of things. That's all you can kind of hope for these days. The uncommon, common, I would put just like that consistency. It's not much slower without the recoil booster. You are silenced with this though. Oof. I don't know, man. I just love the well gun. It's just so good. All right, well, that's the tier list. You can see definite shift in a bunch of guns. So it's fun. It's a kind of a new meta, and we got to figure out what to use. So I'm kind of diving right in with it, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys found it informative. Again, please consider subscribing if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.